Diesel engines are built for the long haul, but only 5 legends have truly conquered the million-mile frontier. From million-mile Mercedes sedans to torque monster American pickups, we're ranking the most indestructible diesel power plants ever engineered across every global car brand. Diesel engines naturally operate under higher compression and heat than gasoline engines, which means they must be constructed with heavy-duty materials like cast iron and forged steel. However, even within the diesel world, there is a god tier of engineering. These are the engines that earned their brands a cult following, powered international commerce, and in some cases literally saved their manufacturers from bankruptcy. Today, we are crossing borders from Germany to Japan to the United States to find the 5 most reliable diesel engines of all time. Number 5. Volkswagen 1.9-liter TDI, the ALH legend. We start our list in Europe with an engine that proved diesel doesn't have to be just for tractors. The Volkswagen 1.9-liter TDI, specifically the ALH engine code produced between 1998 and 2003, is widely considered the most reliable small diesel ever built. While later TDI models became infamous due to the Dieselgate scandal and complex emissions equipment, the ALH was a masterpiece of simplicity. It used a simple rotary fuel pump rather than the complex unit injectors found in later years. It featured a robust cast iron block and a simple single overhead cam design. For owners of the Golf, Jetta, and Passat, this engine was a cheat code for fuel economy, regularly delivering 50 miles per gallon while easily sailing past the 300,000-mile mark. In 2026, these engines are still highly sought after by commuter warriors. Because they lack the fragile diesel particulate filters of modern cars, they're incredibly easy to maintain. As long as you change the timing belt every 100,000 miles and keep the oil fresh, an ALH TDI will likely outlast the body of the car it's sitting in.
Number 4. Mercedes-Benz OM617, the million-mile tank. No list of reliable engines is complete without the Mercedes-Benz OM617. This 5-cylinder diesel, produced from 1974 to 1991, is the reason Mercedes-Benz has a reputation for bulletproof engineering. It powered the legendary W123 chassis, the cars you still see being used as taxis in North Africa and the Middle East today. What makes the OM617 so special? It was designed during an era when Mercedes engineers were told to build the best car in the world regardless of cost. It uses a cast iron block and head, a timing chain that rarely stretches, and a mechanical fuel injection pump that can practically run on vegetable oil. There are documented cases of OM617 engines reaching 600,000, 800,000, and even 1 million miles without the cylinder head ever being removed. In 2026, the OM617 is the darling of the alternative fuel community. Because of its mechanical nature, it is one of the few engines that can reliably run on waste vegetable oil or biodiesel with minimal modifications. It isn't fast, and it sounds like a bag of marbles when it idles, but it is perhaps the most durable passenger car engine ever conceived. Number 3. Toyota 1HD FTE, the king of the Outback. While the Americans were building massive V8s and the Germans were focusing on sedans, Toyota was busy conquering the most hostile environments on Earth. The HD1 FTE is a 4.2-liter, factory turbocharged inline-6 diesel that powered the Land Cruiser 70 and 100 series. In 2026, this engine is regarded as the holy grail for overlanders and off-roaders. Unlike modern common rail diesels that are sensitive to poor fuel quality, the HD1 FTE features a robust electronic fuel injection system that is still simple enough to be repaired in remote areas. It offers a perfect balance of power, with enough low-end torque to crawl up a mountain and legendary longevity that regularly sees 500,000 miles. The HD1 FTE uses a forged crankshaft and reinforced connecting rods, meaning it can handle significantly more power than the factory gave it.
For many humanitarian organizations and government agencies operating in the Sahara or the Australian outback, this engine is the only choice. If your life depends on your engine starting in the middle of nowhere, you want a Toyota 1HD FTE.
Number 2. Ford Navistar 7.3-liter Power Stroke. When American truck fans think of reliability, one number comes to mind: 7.3. Produced between 1994 and 2003, the 7.3-liter Power Stroke V8 built by Navistar for Ford is the engine that cemented the Super Duty's place in history. The 7.3-liter is famous for its HEUI, hydraulically actuated electronically controlled unit injector fuel system. While complex, it proved to be incredibly durable because it used high-pressure engine oil to fire the injectors rather than a fragile mechanical linkage. But the real secret to its longevity was the absence of modern emissions controls: no EGR, no DPF, and no DEF. It was a clean design that focused on raw, dependable torque. In 2026, a 7.3-liter Power Stroke with 250,000 miles still commands a premium price on the used market. Owners know that with a fresh set of injectors and a new turbo pedestal O-ring every decade or so, this engine will tow trailers until the end of time. It is an unstressed engine. It doesn't make massive horsepower for its size, which is exactly why it doesn't break. Number 1. Cummins 5.9-liter 12-valve, the 6BT. Finally, we reach the undisputed king of diesel reliability, the Cummins 5.9-liter 6BT, better known as the 12-valve. Produced for Dodge Ram trucks from 1989 to 1998, this engine is essentially a medium-duty tractor engine that was stuffed into a pickup truck. The 6BT is an inline-six masterpiece. It has 2 fewer cylinders than its rivals, which means fewer moving parts to fail. It features a massive gear-driven timing set. There are no belts or chains to brake. But the crown jewel of the 12-valve is the Bosch P7100 mechanical injection pump. This pump is so reliable and so capable of handling power that it is still used in competitive tractor pulling today. The 5.9-liter Cummins doesn't just last 300,000 miles, it treats that mileage like a light warm-up. We have seen 6BTs in 2026 that have surpassed 1 million miles in hotshot delivery service, still running on the original block and crank. It is the ultimate expression of mechanical simplicity and over-engineering. If the world ended tomorrow, a 12-valve Cummins would likely be the only thing still running.
Why these engines survived and modern ones don't? You might notice a pattern with our top 5. Almost all of them were designed before 2008. Why? Because in 2008, global emissions standards tightened significantly. Manufacturers were forced to add exhaust gas recirculation, or EGR, and diesel particulate filters, or DPF, to their engines. These systems work by recirculating soot back into the engine and using extreme heat to burn off trapped particles. While great for the environment, these systems are engine killers. They increase internal temperatures, dilute engine oil with fuel, and add hundreds of points of failure. The engines on our list today are reliable because they are mechanically simple. They weren't choked by their own exhaust, and they were built with a margin of safety that simply isn't profitable for manufacturers to offer in 2026. The future of the diesel legend. The era of the million-mile diesel may be coming to a close as we move toward electrification and more complex hybrids. However, for the millions of people who still rely on these 5 engines for their livelihoods, their legends are already set in stone. Whether it's a 12-valve Cummins on a ranch in Texas or an OM 617 Mercedes in a village in Europe, these engines prove that when you combine smart engineering with high-quality materials, you get a machine that can truly last forever. If you're looking to buy a diesel that will outlive you, Look for the names we discussed today. They might be louder, they might be slower, and they might smell a bit more like a truck, but they will never let you down. Which diesel legend do you think belongs at the top? Is there an engine we missed? Perhaps a Cat or a Detroit diesel that you've seen hit 7 figures on the odometer? Tell us your high-mileage stories in the comments below. If you enjoyed this ultimate reliability breakdown, hit the like button and share this with your fellow gearheads. Don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the best and worst of the automotive world. Thanks for watching, and keep those engines running.